immediate edification. God gave a promise to King David, and your house and your kingdom shall be established forever before you. Your throne shall be established forever. 2 Samuel 7:16. Due to the sin of idolatry by his son Solomon, King Solomon, and the subsequent Israeli kings, Israel lost its kingship. The throne of David became a thing of the past. In order to fulfill his promise to David, God came down in the flesh as Son of David to re-establish the fallen throne of David. 2 Samuel 7:16. And your house and your kingdom shall be established forever before you. Your throne shall be established forever. Remember, once God gives a word like this, your house and your kingdom shall be established forever before you. Your throne shall be established forever. Once he gives a promise, God undertakes to fulfill this promise. But it became a failure. It became a failure because of King Solomon and the subsequent Jewish kings. So God himself came down as Son of David and re-established the throne of David in Jerusalem, and now he sits in heaven and rules Jacob, who is also called Israel. Thus, God is able to fulfill his promise that was given through 2 Samuel 7:16. You should understand God's characteristic. This is a basic characteristic of God, that if he gives a word, he will fulfill it, even if it meant giving up his life. He came down from heaven in the flesh as Son of David to die and then resurrect and re-establish the throne of David in Israel. This is God. This characteristic you don't find in Allah. Allah is not God at all. Likewise, God had to die in the place of King David, as God did not allow him to be killed for the sin of murdering Uriah through treachery. Uriah, the husband of Bathsheba. In the matter of Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah, David committed a sin that should have been punished with death as per the law. The law was given by God himself. But God did not allow David to be killed. As a result, God himself came down in the flesh in order to die for the sin of David in the matter of killing Uriah through treachery. Thus, the righteousness of God was established. Again, this is yet another thing very special about God, God's characteristic. If he lays down a rule, it was in the Old Testament, where there was no grace. If he laid down a rule, and if somebody had violated, and if God has prescribed a punishment, and if God says don't punish him, then he had to take the punishment upon himself. David committed a blunder. He killed Uriah, the husband of Bathsheba, whom David married later. In order to grab her, David killed Uriah. This was a sin that should have been given death penalty as per the law, but God did not allow him to be killed. He forgave him. Because he forgave him, God had to die. This is the characteristic of God. When God gives a word, to fulfill it, he would even give up his life. God has 7 spirits, so he doesn't bother about giving up his life for his beloved one. He's a very loving God. God is God and Allah is not God. Because God has got 7 spirits, he chose to come down and die for David. Die for all the sinners, resurrected, and he is alive, and he is alive forevermore. Jesus is God. 3. Allah's Quran has blacked out the above 2 mysteries of heaven in the Quran. Either Allah did not know these mysteries of heaven, or Allah had deliberately blacked out these facts so that the Muslims do not get to know the truth. In either case, it is proved that the Quran is not from God, and Allah is certainly not God. The Bible contains numerous references showing people calling Jesus Son of David. Allah cannot deny knowledge of this. It is there in the Bible, and it was there for 600 years when Muhammad was born. 4. In this part of the teaching, The above two mysteries of heaven are explained in detail with Bible references. Now you will be able to discern easily that Allah and His Quran are totally mischievous and misleading. After getting this knowledge, it is up to you to take a call whether to surrender your life to Jesus or continue to be a deceived Muslim. The choice is yours. We are examining not only the Bible verses, we are going to examine the Bible verses and Quran verses and compare them. This is a comparative research study.